What if some of the most powerful foods for diabetes control were already sitting in your kitchen, and most people were overlooking them? When blood sugar stays too high for too long, it does not just affect one number on a test. It can quietly strain your blood vessels, your nerves, your kidneys, your eyes, and even your heart. But here is the encouraging part. Trusted health organizations consistently recommend a pattern centered on non-starchy vegetables, fiber-rich whole foods, and portion-aware fruit choices as part of diabetes-friendly eating. In today's video, we're going to break down the fruits and vegetables that stand out the most for diabetics, why they help the body, how they affect blood sugar, and the smartest ways to eat them in real life. And make sure you stay until the end, because one of the best choices is probably not the one most people expect. Topic 1. Why vegetables usually come first for blood sugar control. If you ask many doctors and diabetes educators where to start, they often point to non-starchy vegetables first. Why? Because these foods give your body volume, nutrients, and fiber without loading your bloodstream with large amounts of carbohydrate at once. The CDC and NIDDK both emphasize non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, spinach, green beans, peppers, and leafy greens as a foundation for diabetes-friendly eating. Think of these vegetables as a cushion for your metabolism. They help fill your plate, support fullness, and make it easier to avoid the refined foods that can spike blood sugar more aggressively. Fiber slows digestion, which means sugar tends to enter the bloodstream more gradually instead of all at once. The CDC specifically highlights fiber and non-starchy vegetables as helpful for blood sugar management. This is why the diabetes plate method is so powerful. The American Diabetes Association recommends filling half your plate with non-starchy vegetables, then adding protein and quality carbohydrates to the remaining space. It is simple, visual, and realistic for daily life. A practical way to start is this. Lunch and dinner should each include at least one big serving of vegetables. A salad, steamed broccoli, sautéed spinach, roasted cauliflower, or green beans can completely change how balanced your meal feels. Topic 2. The #1 vegetable group for diabetics. Leafy greens. If there is one vegetable group that keeps showing up in diabetes guidance, it is dark leafy greens. The ADA lists dark green leafy vegetables among its diabetes superstar foods, and for good reason. They are low in calories, generally low in carbohydrates, rich in vitamins and minerals, and easy to add to everyday meals. Inside the body, leafy greens support much more than just blood sugar. They contribute nutrients involved in blood vessel health, immune function, and normal cell protection. When someone with diabetes starts replacing highly processed side dishes with green, that change can help reduce the overall glycemic load of the meal while improving nutrient density. That matters because diabetes is not only about sugar, it is also about inflammation, cardiovascular strain, and long-term metabolic stress. Balanced eating patterns help address that bigger picture. Spinach, kale, collards, romaine, arugula, and mustard greens are all smart options. You do not have to make them complicated. Add spinach to eggs, blend a handful into a smoothie, use romaine for a large salad, or saute kale with garlic and olive oil. Even 1 to 2 cups a day can be an easy habit for many people. And here is something important. The goal is not perfection. The goal is repetition. A simple bowl of greens several times a week can do more for your body than an expensive miracle food you never actually eat. Topic 3. The #1 fruit choice for many diabetics. Berries. Now let's talk about fruit, because this is where many people get confused. Some believe diabetics should avoid fruit completely, but that is not what major health organizations say. The ADA includes berries among diabetes-friendly superstar foods. And the CDC notes that carbs can still be part of a healthy diabetes eating plan when chosen and portioned wisely. Berries stand out because they bring fiber and sweetness in a package that is often easier to fit into a balanced meal than desserts or fruit juices. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries can help satisfy cravings while supporting a more gradual blood sugar response compared with ultra-processed sugary foods. That does not mean unlimited amounts, but it does mean berries can be a smart fruit choice. Picture this. Instead of ending the night with cake, cookies, or sweet yogurt, a person with diabetes eats a bowl of plain Greek yogurt topped with berries and a few nuts. The experience is still satisfying, but the body receives protein, fiber, and a more balanced carbohydrate load. A practical suggestion is to use about a small bowl or a handful of berries at a time, especially paired with protein or healthy fat. Add them to unsweetened yogurt, oatmeal, chia pudding, or a high-protein breakfast. That combination can help with fullness and may reduce the urge to snack later. Topic for apples, pears, and citrus. Smart whole fruits. When eaten the right way, berries are not the only fruits diabetics can enjoy. Whole fruits can still fit into a diabetes-friendly pattern, especially when they are eaten in reasonable portions and in their natural form instead of as juice. The ADA's plate method includes fruit as one of the quality carbohydrate options, and the CDC emphasizes choosing healthier carbs and paying attention to portions. Apples and pears are especially practical because they are portable, satisfying, and contain fiber. Citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruit also appear on the ADA's Diabetes Superstar list, showing that fruit itself is not the enemy. The bigger issue is usually how fruit is consumed. Fruit juice, syrup-packed fruit, and oversized portions can hit the bloodstream very differently from a whole piece of fruit. That is why the form matters. Eating an orange is not the same as drinking orange juice. Chewing whole fruit slows the process down, and the fiber in the fruit helps moderate how quickly sugars are absorbed. Juice removes much of that natural braking system. A simple rule for daily life is this: choose whole fruit, not juice, and try pairing fruit with protein or fat. An apple with peanut butter, a pear with a few walnuts, or orange slices after a balanced lunch can be much smarter than drinking sweet beverages on an empty stomach. Topic 5. Broccoli, peppers, tomatoes, and cruciferous vegetables. The blood sugar-friendly plate builders after leafy greens. Another powerful group for diabetics is the colorful world of non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers, cabbage, green beans, mushrooms, zucchini, and tomatoes. These vegetables are repeatedly recommended by the CDC and ADA as part of diabetes meal planning because they help fill the plate without overwhelming it with rapidly absorbed carbs. Broccoli and cauliflower are especially useful because they can replace more refined side dishes. Instead of a plate dominated by white rice, fries, or pasta, these vegetables create bulk, texture, and satisfaction. Bell peppers and tomatoes add color and flavor, which matters more than people think. The more appealing your healthy plate is, the more likely you are to stay consistent with it. From a body perspective, this matters because blood sugar control is often easier when meals are built around foods that digest more steadily. These vegetables also support heart health goals by helping people reduce dependence on processed, high-sodium, high-sugar foods. Since diabetes and cardiovascular risk often travel together, that is a very important advantage. A practical tip is to upgrade the base of your meals. Make vegetables the biggest item on the plate, not the afterthought. Roast broccoli with olive oil, use cauliflower rice, add peppers to omelets, mix cabbage into salads, or keep frozen mixed vegetables at home for quick meals. So what are the fruits and vegetables for diabetics? If we had to simplify it, the strongest foundation is this: non-starchy vegetables first, especially leafy greens and colorful vegetables, plus smart whole fruit choices like berries, apples, pears, and citrus in sensible portions. That is the pattern trusted organizations keep pointing people toward: more fiber, more whole foods, better portions, fewer refined carbs, and a plate built around vegetables. And that is the real secret. Diabetes-friendly eating is not about fear. It is about strategy. It is about choosing foods that nourish the blood vessels, calm the sugar swings, support the gut, protect the heart, and give the body a better chance to function the way it was designed to function. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs better blood sugar support. And in the comments, tell me this: which of these foods do you already eat the most? Leafy greens or berries? I'd love to know.